Hello, hello, hello. So, in one of my previous videos, I talked about how I'm shifting to resting in what I know and sort of relaxing in the confidence that I have already, right? And I had mentioned in the video that I don't necessarily have a step-by-step as to how you rest or relax or how you have that confidence. I kind of just have it, and I don't have the play-by-play of how I got it. But I wanted to do a follow-up video to say maybe some of the foundation or the groundwork that you could do if you are trying to figure out how to get that confidence, or how to have faith, or how to sort of have a foundation of belief. And as I mentioned, I was raised in Christianity with an upbringing of faith, with my parents just kind of teaching me like, well, this is what we believe, and we have this confidence in God and, the Bible, and, all those things help to prepare me and, give me what I have now. So I am, fully, eternally grateful for that. And it's just a foundation, and it's something to build upon. So I feel like, I've grown, and I've built upon that foundation, and I want to share, with you. Again, like I said, my journey started maybe 6 years ago to want to go a little bit deeper and say like, okay, how do things work when they work, and why do they not work when they don't work, and work sometimes, not work sometimes. So I thought about as I was talking in the previous video about just a being and a resting, I thought about, well, how do you just have that confidence? And it really starts with knowing who you are. That's the most basic way that I can put it, is to know who you are. So the question is, who are you? And that's what I started to ask myself. And I thought forever that I knew who I was. And, I know who I am as a woman, as a Black woman, as a woman of God, as a woman of faith, as a mom, all those things. But, we're always learning, or we can be always learning and growing in knowing who we are. So I started to say, but like, who am I and who are we as, people? Because like I said, mostly I was looking for answers as to why do sometimes things work out, sometimes things you believe for, they work out, or they manifest, or you're like, oh my gosh, this is a miracle. Or sometimes you're like, I thought I was gonna get that, but I didn't, So coming back, I thought I would, start with the foundation of who are you? And there is a scripture in the Bible that I'm reminded of that says, study to show thyself approved unto God. And I should know where that is, but I don't have that reference off the top of my head. I should have prepared that. But it's study to show thyself. And I kind of want to just stop right there with study to show thyself. And you can just meditate on that. Like, so what do we get when we study? That's what I started to do, is just to study and to ask questions. And I started to study because I had the question and I wanted to know. So I started to search things out. And if you're looking for something, you're going to find it. Like, if you're diligent and you are, seeking an answer, you're going to find it. Like I had said also in the previous video, everything is within you already. So if you are sincere about really finding the answer, I believe it's going to come to you. And, however it comes, you do have to be expecting it, because you do have to believe that you are going to find it. Or you don't have to, but if you believe you're going to find it, I believe you're going to find it. So that's what I was starting to do in my search, is figure out, who am I, apart from all the things that I've been, taught, or all the things that I've experienced. Who am I? And so studying is, when a lot of us have been, to school, even just, primary school, elementary school, high school, some of us have gone on, to higher education. So when you study, you have a purpose of learning, right? I mean, you have a purpose of getting the degree, but you're really going to those classes, doing the homework, listening to the instructor so that you can get the knowledge. And so studying can look like, so many different things. But for me, I started reading a lot more. I had already read the Bible backward and forward. It's like, no, I wasn't that, I would say I wasn't so much of a Bible scholar, but, I was pretty well versed in reading the Bible and, hearing different scriptures throughout because I kind of, grew up that way. But I started to look a little bit more for myself, and not only at, sources of the Bible. I started reading other books. I really like auditory learning, I guess is what you call it. So I started to listen to stuff, listen to books, things online. Of course, YouTube University, as a lot of us, have gone to. So I started to watch more videos and things like that. I mentioned Neville Goddard. He's one of the what is he? I guess he's a teacher, philosopher, or whatever from way back in the day. I think he passed away in, I want to say the 70s. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, his materials were very popular and still are on YouTube. So I started listening to him and different other, speakers, and reading books like Think and Grow Rich. Oh boy, what's some other one? As a Man Thinketh. I was reading Joseph Murphy, Science of Mind, all those types of things. And I'm saying that to say, you can use that, you can meditate, you can ask God for yourself, God, however you want to terminology. And I'm not trying to offend anybody by saying God, but, I've come to learn or understand God differently than the way that I was taught. So you can, use all of those methodologies to sort of start to study, but to learn about who you are. And when you study, you're showing yourself, like you're uncovering or discovering things and who you are. So as the more you study, you're like peeling off different layers and actually getting to the core of who you are. So when I said stop at study to show yourself, it's study, to show yourself, to reveal yourself, as that, being, as that God being. So you're revealing who you are to yourself. And I wrote a couple of notes here. When you study, again, you uncover who you are, but we are really, really phenomenal creatures. And I mean, it's so, like, it's really, really amazing. We're the most high beings, at least on this planet that we know of. And so I had to cut the video because I live here with other beings, and one of them interrupted me. So my video was cut short, but I'm back. I was saying that we are powerful beings. We are phenomenal beings. We are the most high creatures on this planet that we know of. And so when you think about that, if you really sit and think about it and meditate on it and start to question, like, what's going on, like I said, about why things work the way they work or how they work, or if you're inquisitive at all, if you care at all about those things, your mind could kind of, go on and on and on, trying to not even to understand, but just be in awe of that. And then you start to recognize like who you are and the power that you have. When you hear terminologies like take your power back and, you're giving away your power, that doesn't really, if you don't know what power you possess, then, there's not anything that you would want to take back. But the more that you understand who you are and the power that you have. My mom tells a story, and I don't know all the details of the story, but I just remember her saying, like, one time she was, worrying or having some issues with something, and she said God told her, you didn't know what your rights were. So when you don't know who you are, you don't know what your rights are, you don't know where your power lies, you don't know the power that you possess. So the more that you study and learn and ask and seek to find out who you are, you're going to get that power. And the more power that you have possessed within you, things actually become easier and life becomes easier to live, because you realize you have more control than you maybe thought you did, or maybe that you were taught that you had. So I just wanted to talk about that little foundation piece about who are you? Study to find out who you are. That's the foundation. That's the core, at least for me, when I started to wonder, like, how things work, and why, and how can I duplicate the things in my life that I do like, that are working out for me. The more I understood and the more I understand, because we're ever learning, right? This is like an ongoing process. So the more that I study and figure out, oh, I am, a powerful being, or I am, like, just stop there. That has helped me as I fix my shirt. That has helped me to really get more strength and confidence. I talked about in my previous video, like, I have this confidence and I have this knowing about certain things. And I think that comes from knowing who I am, and learning and continuing to learn and continuing to possess that, and continuing to remind myself, even if I feel like, I've had a bad day or a bad week, or, something didn't work out for me. I'm like, no, I am. Like, so whatever, has happened, it's something for me to learn from. It's always working out for my good. Those are things. It's just, I just want to put a little nugget to say, start to, if you care to, seek out find out who you are. And this will help you in your quest if you're on the quest of just being. On the previous video, I talked about just resting and being that thing that you want to be, versus wanting to be it. Just be it. And the way that you can start to be it is you start to understand and know who you are. And the more you know who you are, you're going to relax more into who you are. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to put that question out there to say, who are you? Study to show yourself who you are. Study to show yourself what you are and the power that you possess. So I hope this resonates with someone. I'll continue to meditate on this myself and put follow-up videos here if you'd like to see them. Of course, like, share, subscribe, and let me know more about what you want to hear about. Namaste.